Okay, so we started off by watching one of the characteristics of life videos, and then we went back to our characteristics of life group activity that we shared, and we made sure that it had all of the attributes of life. If need be, we resaved it as a PDF, and we submitted it under Unit 1. So you scroll down to Unit 1, and I called it Life Model, right? Is that what I called it? Okay. Follow the instructions on how to submit something on the top of this PDF. Okay? Now we're going to set up the lab. So you all have a test tube and a beaker, and in the bottom of your test tube is some phenol red. Some people have 2 test tubes, some people have 1 test tube. It doesn't make a difference, okay? Because we're all going to share our results on Monday. That card that I gave you, the 3x5 card, I need you to put your name on it. And if you brought in a live bug or a dead bug, then write what you brought. Even if you're not sure if it's dead or alive, write down what you think it is, okay? And then, if you have 2 test tubes, you're going to also test another parameter. So we want to make sure that we have a good variety of other organisms to test, okay? So I'm going to give you guys, we want to have at least 2 of each of these, right? If we could have more in a sample size, that would certainly be better, right? But we don't have that ability to do lots this year. Questions? You need some supplies. Okay, we'll bring in some supplies. Sorry about that. You need 1 test tube or 2? Did you bring in? You need 2.
Go to content. Click in the very bottom, not that, below it, the red thing on the very bottom, just click that, and life model. And then you just have to hit upload and choose from your drive. And you have to go down and hit submit.
Okay, so let's divide up the test tubes. So wet seed, in addition to your bug, okay? Do you have a preference on what you do? Curious about any of them? Okay. So I'm going to give you a wet seed, okay? So Evelyn is going to get wet seed. And then Lucy, dry seed, okay? Wet yeast, Cullen. Dry yeast, Quinn. Okay. And Addie, can you have one be a control of your 2 test tubes? Great. Annabella, wet seed. And then Emma. Actually, we're going to skip over to Eva. Did I say that right? No. Okay. I'm paranoid. Dry seed for Eva. Keaton, wet yeast, okay? And then Austin, dry yeast. And then our second control is going to be, did I give you 2 test tubes, Michaela? Yeah. Okay. Oh, Eileen. What did you say? You're Eileen. Where's Michaela's absent? I got a marker absent. Okay. Eileen, you're going to be our second control. Okay, sound good? And then Haley, you're going to be wet seed. Ella. Wait, does anybody, do you guys, we have both dead, raise your hand if you have a dead bug. Raise your hand if you have a live bug. Okay, good. That's kind of what I was hoping. Ella, did I give you one yet? Okay, so you're going to be dry seed. And Tiffany, what do you want? Wet or dry yeast? You can choose.
Wet.
You think wet. Okay, perfect. All right, now I'm gonna hand them out and you're gonna put them in your test tubes. Remember the setup is gonna be like this, okay? So you have in your test tube some phenol red, and then you're gonna put the foam in that test tube. We don't want the foam to fall, okay? So kind of make sure that it's wedged in there pretty well, okay? So maybe give it a little test, okay? If it falls to the bottom, we'll start over, okay? And then you want to put the cap on if it's a control, okay? If it's not the control, you're adding whatever you need to add to the foam, okay? What questions do you guys have? Yeah.
With the other one we have, so since I have whiteness, do you also want to spray that on my card too?
Thank you. That's a really good idea. Yes, whatever I just assigned to you, please write that on your card. Because we're going to put this card in the beaker, and then on Monday when we look at them, we'll know what we had. Okay? Yeah.
I need a card.
Okay. All right. So while you're waiting for me to bring you whatever the second thing is, then you could be putting your dead or alive bug into your test tube, okay, and writing on your card, okay? Need a card, okay. All right, so that's the setup.